just leave you with this, though, before I pass the baton. Give me just a sec. If you've got natives in your landscape, take care of those, first and foremost, because they cannot be replaced, and they're worth thousands of dollars. I mean, if you get a loss of a ponderosa or a big pinion, they're literally worth insurance claim-wise. You can claim insurance on those, worth thousands. And they cannot be replaced in our lifetime, or your kid's lifetime, or any time in the near future. It's like 200 years out before they fill in nicely again. Take care of those. We have seen some stress on some of the plants. We went from super drought through last winter, lots of death, lots of scale this early spring on the pines, that kind of stuff. And then we went from bitter dry to wet. I mean, just constant wet, which our natives don't like that either. They don't like those extremes. And so we're seeing some stress of ponderosa flathead borers, bark beetles, scale. We're seeing something. Even saw a sawfly on some ponderosas last week. A little tiny caterpillar that eats the needles off. So we're seeing some funky things. Be aware of that. Don't just assume that plant has been out there and it will survive on its own, because it's been there for hundreds of years. No, it hasn't been there for hundreds of years surviving on its own. That's back before you put your neighborhood in and change the water flows, heat patterns, heat islands. You've changed the environment of those plants. And they don't need a lot of care. I'm not saying put them on the drip system, but a little bit of touch from a gardener's hands can mean a lot as far as the health of those plants. So don't assume they're going to keep going the way they've been going for years. They may not. We're seeing some plants collapse. When you put that driveway and you're cutting roots, when you put your footers in, you're cutting roots that your house is over there, and it's got roots over there, but the tree's over here, and it changes how that plant receives nutrients and water. 2 bits of advice I can give you before I pass the baton. 1, if it's an evergreen, if you have an evergreen, use this. I don't care if it's diseased or not. This is plant protector. It's kind of like an antibiotic or it's a systemic the plant absorbs through the roots, and it just keeps the cambium layer, the tips. It deals with scale, flathead borers, bark beetles, things that eat underneath the bark. It takes care of all those bugs and evergreens. And the number one culprit, number one insect in our area, because we're in this pine forest, one of the largest ponderosa pine forests on the planet, is right here. Certain insects have adapted to feed off of the pine forest, or your junipers, or the evergreens. This helps keep them at bay. So I've seen such a problem. I just did mine anyway. I don't have issues, but I don't want to have issues. And so you do this once, it'll last for a year. So you're just good to go. Okay, you're good. Do it now before the plant's shut down. And you just mix it up in a watering can or 5-gallon bucket. You pour it right at the base of the plant absorbs it. Second, keep the plants healthy. Food and water, how you keep strong and healthy, right? The right kind of nutrients, just like humans, keep you stronger. If you get the flu, you have to sip it for a few days, and you're better. You're out hiking the trails again. Plants are just the same way. Keep them watered, keep them fed, and they will be healthier. If they do get attacked, they can handle that. They can deal with it. And so, in about 2-3 weeks, fertilize with the all-purpose plant food. Okay, the second you see the first bit of color showing up on the aspens, you just start to see that real leading edge. But I think by the end of this month through October, it's definitely going to be fall color. Put this on just around the drip line of your evergreens, the native things, and it will set the stage for a healthier. It'll get through winter. If we get a harsh winter, you just never know what winter's going to be here. It could be glorious or it could be like dry as a bone. This helps it get through that, and then it'll set the stage for better spring growth or candle growth, that elongation of the needles. It'll help maximize that. So those are 2 bits of advice I can give you.